All right, welcome to the Iron and Instinct podcast. I am Trainer Bryan.
I'm Trainer Adam.
All right, and today we are going to talk about all things fitness on a busy schedule and balancing your life and your fitness when you're a very busy dad, entrepreneur,
business person,
whatever it is.
whatever you got going on.
So keeping that motivation and consistency alive when life's just getting nuts. So we're going to talk about all of our tips and tricks for that stuff and what you can do and take her from there.
Yeah, I don't know, just kind of recently this was brought up to my attention. A family member was like, hey, I need some help, with my fitness. I'm just not happy where I'm at. Do you mind if we just sit down, chat, kind of go over that? And I was like, you know what? Yeah. So I went up there and we got together a plan. And then as I was breaking down, it was crazy. I was like, tell me about your day, right? Give me an idea of what your day looks like. It kind of sparked this idea of like, oh, how do I structure, my day, and how is it that I'm able to fit, my health and exercise and things like that into my daily plan, and then talking with this family member, we went over and I was like, all right, break down your day, and this particular person's kind of one of those hybrid workers where there's a couple days they're out, on site, then there's the other days they're at home, right? So figuring that out too. And then I was like, well, yeah, I guess we do have a lot more people that are doing that nowadays. They're equal parts in the office and at home. So how do you balance that out?
Right.
And that's kind of what sparked me wanting to talk about this today.
Oh yeah.
So, it's like using our lives as an example, maybe, just, I'm sure there's other people that are like that too, but I mean, I know for a fact my work day and my day start hours apart.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So, especially you. I mean, I know you've got
in the same boat, man.
Same,
No, you're from the get-go. You're revving it, however many RPMs from sun up to sundown.
Yep.
But yeah, it's all about, you have to decide that you're going to make it a non-negotiable part of your life in some fashion. So it's a lot easier once you're established into a routine than starting. So, but even, people we see all the time who have been around for a while, and they're like, yeah, man, life's just kind of getting in the way right now. And it's like, okay, well, are you sure, or are you just not making it that required part of your week? So
I think some people get analysis paralysis, right? They think they overthink it, or they just stress gets in the way. Yeah. And in all actuality, exercise has been shown to reduce cortisol and help with that, but that sort of gets pushed to the back burner because they're like, oh, I don't have time to exercise. It's like, no, see, now that statement, I don't really like that. Right. Because you're not making the time to do it.
If we did an audit of your day, can we squeeze out 30 minutes? And I guarantee you we can.
And that's kind of how, like I said, with my family member, it was like that. I was like, all right, break down your day. Tell me the time you wake up. And what we came up with was like, okay, well then what we're going to have to do to fit this in, you're going to have to wake up 30 minutes to an hour earlier than what you're doing. Do this, and then then we can, and then, it was kind of cool to break that down, because then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, basically just creating a structure.
Yep.
We thrive, humans, everyone, especially me being prior military, we thrive on structure. Children, everyone thrives on structure. When there's no structure, there's no progress. Right. There's no, anything like that. So creating structure is important.
Absolutely.
And prioritizing yourself is not selfish.
Nope.
I want to put that out there right here and there. You being a parent, anyone out there listening, if you're a parent, putting yourself first occasionally, especially when it comes to your health, it's not selfish. Right. It's not a selfish thing. That's actually the opposite. You prioritizing your health makes you better in the long run. Right. In my opinion.
Well, you can, you and I both have talked about this before, but you can notice yourself being a better or suboptimal parent based on, how are we doing health and fitness wise? Yeah. I am not as fun and nice of a person if I am have not been consistently working out.
This is true.
I turned into a dick. It's just what
That's
happens.
just is what it is, right?
You got to burn off that excess stress, that excess energy.
Yeah.
And so it's important to carve out that time for yourself, and makes you a better. I mean, it makes me a better employee. It makes me a better husband and father and all that. So it's worth it, and it doesn't I think sometimes people have floodgate syndrome where they think that if they have to decrease, well, then they might as well stop.
Yeah.
Or it's got to be all or nothing. But how about we just scale it back to 2 or 3 times a week versus your 5? Even decrease it to half an hour. I told you right before we got in here, I just did a back workout in 18 minutes
18
flat
minutes,
because I had a half an hour open up that I otherwise wasn't going to have today. Yeah. So we just got after it.
And
so
that's the thing is like, you don't, and that's what happened to me on Monday as well. Like I had X amount of time, did not sleep well, and I could have been like, well, you know what? I'm not going to get in my hour and a half workout today. So we're just not going to worry about it. We'll just do something else. And I was like, no. We'll take the meat and potatoes of this workout, and that's what we'll focus on. So I did all the compound lifts in there, and I've done what you did. I've over time, being now that I have 2 children, both toddlers, both walking, both running around like crazy from the time, I don't know how these kids do this, dude. It's like some Energizer bunny. They don't stop. No. They just don't. It's like they get up.
A little hydrofusion battery on their back.
It's like watching, literally watching 2 Sonic the Hedgehogs, like Shadow and Sonic, just battle it out every day, And for you Sonic nerds out there, but so you got to think about that. So from the time you wake up, so it's like, if I didn't work out, because my day doesn't stop. I leave here, and then strip off the Alpha 1 stuff, and as I get home, they don't care. It's dad, Dad's home, and guess what? Now it's time to ride the bikes. It's time to go to the playground. I mean, literally yesterday, my kids got home. I got home. My wife just got home from taking the kids out for a play date. Got Culver's, all this. You would think, oh, we're just gonna go home inside. We're sweaty. We're gonna go chill. No. Dad, can we go down and get the mail? Dad, can we go to the playground? Dad, will you play zombie tag with me at the playground? And it's like, dude, I've just worked a 10-hour day, but you know what?
Yes. We're going.
Yep, we got this. Let's go. And but yesterday, I did all I did yesterday for my exercise really, it was I threw my vest on and I went for a 45-minute walk, and I felt great. Sometimes that's all you really need. Yep. That's something I've over trial and error I've realized is I do well when I'm doing 3 to 4 workouts a week. If I'm lucky and I can get in 5, great. But realistically, I just don't recover as much anymore just because of lack of sleep or whatever. So me getting in 3 really solid workouts a week is non-negotiable, and I set those to be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will find time on a Monday and a Wednesday and a Friday. Those workouts will happen. Yep. Because those for me, it's beginning of the week, start the week off right. That hump day, where you're like, oh crap, man, I really want to do this today. You do it Wednesday, and then by Friday, then it's almost like a fun one because you're like, cool, now I get to recover for the next 2 days. I don't have to worry about all this, So that's kind of how I've started to structure my workouts, and I'm trying it out. I'm trying a full body 3-day-a-week workout plan. More to come on that. It's only 2 weeks in. So far, I'm liking it. But then again, I have ADHD, so it's it could change. My interest in it might change, tomorrow. But nonetheless, carving out that time is important. Yep. No matter what.
And shifting your goals too. I mean, it's when life ramps up. For me, for instance, just had my 3rd kid. Extra work responsibilities, super high time demand right now. Mm-hmm. I'm focusing more on a maintenance strategy. So, I'm just trying to get my workouts in, and then when stuff dies down a little bit, we'll be a little more goal-specific oriented. Right. Mm-hmm. It's also a good time to focus more on nutrition too, because that is something that doesn't really require time. It's just something you can improve and is choice based.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there's always stuff you can do when that schedule is getting hectic
Yeah.
that can keep things improving. You know, even running around with the kids
Yep.
and going outside. One of the things we do with my kids is called baseball race, and I just go out in the back, I launch a baseball, and we race after the ball. And it's a way that I try to burn off energy, and they
great.
love it. So it's like I'm sneaking in, you know, exercise at that point. So there's always stuff you can do, whether it's dropping and doing 10 push-ups, 10 bodyweight squats,
That's
you know,
exactly,
intermittently throughout the day.
I mean, come on, I think every dad, fitness-related dad, when we go to the playground, we see those monkey bars where we're like, how many pull-ups am I going to crank out right now? You know what I mean? Like, how many leg raises can I do? You know what I mean? Like, that's me, dude. I go there, and then I test my kid. My kid's like, Daddy, we do grip strength training, so we'll do the dead hang. And I'm like, all right, let's see how long you can go for, you know? And it's fun, man. I mean, they enjoy it. Zombie tag is what we play. So it's like you run around the playground, and thank God yesterday we had an older kid at the playground because then he got the tag in. He's like, can I play? I'm like, dear God, please play. Because I'm worn out. And I was like, my foot's killing me. I'm like running around this kid, you know, and he's like, cool. So I was like, all right, now you guys go play. And then I got to push the little one on the swing. I'm like, Dad's gonna do some swing time with the little one, and then you guys go play.
Well, and it's that stuff too. That's why it's extra important to keep up with your regimen to the best of your ability, because it does make you able to do that after a long work day, you know? I'm more energized at the end of a day that I've worked out versus one that I'm behind a desk all day. Like you would think it would be the opposite because you're resting, but no, I'm freaking drained if I've been sitting doing computer work all day.
It's just that
versus if I actually have been moving. And you kind of carry that momentum.
And that's the thing too, is like, so when my family member, we're about 3 days into the plan we set up, and you know, and I'm talking with them, and I'm like, so how's it going? You know, and they're like, well, you know, I'm just finding it hard, like time management. I said, I totally understand that. I said, just control what you can control. All right, focus on the things you can control. All right. If you get stuck at work and your boss is like, hey, before you clock out today, I need you to knock out this project. Like, nothing you can do about that, right? What you can control is you can control your movement, you can control your sleep, and you can control your nutrition. Those are the things you can control. So if you can't do anything else, focus on those 3 things. And I'm telling you, the movement, getting back to nutrition as a whole, more movement equals more metabolism driven, right? It's going to create a deficit for you no matter what. The more you move, the less you eat, boom. It's pretty simple, right? You can control your sleep. Okay, don't doom scroll at night, you know. Get to bed a little early. If you gotta lay in bed and read a book and to fall asleep, do that. You know, don't look at your phone. And the third thing is move. You know, we can move, especially now. I mean, like today's a beautiful day. It's like here in Minnesota, it's like in the 70s.
Finally.
You know, and so it's like you can control your movement even in the morning. If you only have like 15, 20 minutes to go on a walk, go on a walk. Get the steps in early, so then when you are sitting, you're not, I mean, I know that the more I move in the morning, you know, and if I have to come here and do some work and stuff on the computer, then I feel less, you know, guilty about it, I guess, about like, oh, you know, I'm not thinking about, oh, I got to get my steps in, I got to do this, got to do that, you know, so things like that, those are the big ones, right? Control what you can control. You know, outside of that, if you leave, you know, you're late for work because there was an accident on 494 or something, like, okay, well, there's nothing you can do about that. You left on time. It's not your fault that other people got in an accident. So don't stress too much about that.
And don't try to do it perfectly. You know, at the end of the day, it's a lot better than doing nothing. Because when you get to the end of the road, you know, you're going to be a lot happier that you've done something in here versus we got here, okay, I haven't done anything for the last 2 years now, and now we got to start all over again. So
I mean, small habits, man. I mean, small habits create big wins over time. But it takes time. You know, it takes, people think, I don't know, the old adage, it was like, somebody used to say it takes like 21 days or 3 weeks to start. And that's not true. It takes like 3 months to really get into the swing of things. You know, because that first month you're creating these new routines, these new habits. The second month you're starting to kind of oh, I'm starting to kind of see the things are falling in place. And then by the third month, you're starting to feel and really see the changes that you've created. And so, again, yeah, I always say progress over perfection.
Yep.
If you can do a little bit more each day, and sure, if you don't hit a perfect day, great. But if you hit a perfect day, then you realize, oh man, this is great. I hit everything from A to Z. That's not reality.
Well, that goes a lot in the lines of, I first heard it from Scott Adams in one of his books, and then again in Atomic Habits, but it's habits over goals. So if you have established habits, that's gonna be a lot more effective than constantly in that chasing goal, reach goal, new goal platform, because every day is a success. So if you have good habits and that's your goal essentially is to get your habits, then it's success, 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 versus we have a goal, you're in failure, failure, failure. Okay, we hit the goal, slight success, now new goal, you're back into that failure state. So, and it's something that, is a little more fluid with those rough time periods and bad days because, okay, drove to the gym, had a lighter workout today because my body wasn't feeling it, but we hit our gym habit. That is good to go for today. That is a win. So really powerful mental tool you can start working on.
And I think that people overthink it too. It's like you can get a quality workout in 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Like don't focus so much on time, just focus on effort.
Yep.
Put in a good effort. My strategy is at least 30 minutes a day. And that, whether that's weight training, whether that's going for a walk or a run, if I can get in like a good block off, like at least 30 minutes. If I can get more than 30 minutes, that's a win, right? But if I can get at least 30 minutes, then I'm like, all right, cool. I can go and I can tackle the rest of my day. It kind of gives me the drive to keep going.
Yep.
So for those of you that are, sitting at home a lot, something that I've always implemented with clients is I call it the 58-2 rule. I learned about this years ago when I was working security. You basically set a timer for 58 minutes, okay? And when that timer goes off, this is non-negotiable. That timer goes off, you set a 2-minute timer. And what you do for that 2 minutes is you can do some high knees, you can do some push-ups, you can do jumping jacks, you can do a combination of things, whatever it is, movement for 2 minutes, okay? That little 2-minute break will really mentally help you zone in and focus more too.
Sure.
And then you're getting movement in. Now, if you are doing an 8-hour shift, now 8 times 2, right? That's 16 minutes of movement right there.
Yep.
Just doing that in your workday. Now you couple that with your morning walk and maybe an afternoon workout, or a morning workout, afternoon walk. Now you've easily accumulated at least 30 minutes of exercise every day.
Yeah, they've done similar studies with like doing like a 4-second sprint, either on a bike or running every hour, and it has substantial benefits.
Yeah, Dr. Mark Sisson, he's the guy that does the Primal Kitchen stuff. He had I love his book. He has a book called The Primal Blueprint, and he calls them micro workouts.
Yeah.
So you do like 5 little micro workouts of like 10 minutes a day or anything like that. And it doesn't have to be that many, but I'm just saying like you do little 10-minute workouts, and it exponentially increases your lifespan and your mental health too. I mean, it's great for mental health.
And it's like, especially if you have an office job, getting up and getting that blood flow going and breaking up that monotonous just staring at the screen.
And this too, the fluorescence, like try to get outside.
Yeah.
If you can, get as much movement outside as you can. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's just walking outside around your house or in your backyard, just doing like zigzag lines or whatever you got to do, listen to an audio book, or if you have a meeting, maybe take the meeting outside, and move around while you're on the meeting. It's nothing, there's nothing that says you can't do that. And that little bit of movement each day is going to make tremendous progress in the long run, I feel like. So
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's easy for us to say because we work at a gym, everybody thinks that, but it's harder than you think. Especially when like he and I being in the management type role, we still have other responsibilities than just working out all the time.
Right.
So we've made it a non-negotiable.
Yep.
And if you, like you said, I love that you say that. Like if you make it a non-negotiable, like this has to, like I have to get up I have to, you know, get the kids ready for school. I have to do this, I have to do that, and I have to work out today, or I have to get some movement in today.
Make it as important as your doctor's appointment that you know you got to get to. Like it's just, you got to make it that thing.
Yeah.
And that takes a little bit of time, but you can get there, and it's once you're there, it's like a superpower, you know, because you don't think about it, you just do it. And then it's grafted onto you.
It is. It becomes part of your identity, you know. So, like, I love it because like my kids are all about when they want to come to the gym, and it's like, okay, I'm doing something right.
Right.
I never had that growing up. I mean, nothing against my dad, but they were like
old
old
school.
school. You know, they just worked.
Yep.
They worked. They came home. And,
I'll do body weight squats at home. My kids start doing it with me, trying to like mimic.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
that's right, buddy. Get down.
Yeah. My son will do it. He'll be like, and like my kid's always like, the kid loves to jump. My youngest Caden, he's like, Dad, watch this, and I'm like, go for it. Let me see. He's doing like big jumps on the couch or jumps everywhere, and I'm like, all right, nice. And then Lucas is over here like, So it's just fun, man. It's kid, and your kids notice that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So, you know, and then like again, no fault of our parents' generation, but it was you work, and this is why you have siblings. Go play with them. I'm not.
Right.
Dad's worked all day.
Tired.
Yeah.
Dad's been at the factory.
Yeah.
Give me the scotch.
Yeah. Where's my beer? Food should be on the table. No,
Homer Simpson generation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But it is what it is, man. You know, so like our generation and just us in general, we make it a priority. You know, and one thing, like I said, I leave work at work as much as I can, and when I get home, it's go time.
Yep.
It's the other part. It's my 9 to 5 after my 9 to 5. You know.
That's when the cape comes on.
Yeah, dude, for sure. But it's doable, guys. If you can't, start somewhere. Again, as we always say, if you need help, reach out. We'd be more than happy to give you some advice, give you some guidance and things like that.
Promise you can find the time. I will find the time for you if you cannot find it yourself.
Yeah.
I promise you.
Exactly. All right. Well, get out there.
Get after it.
And kick ass, guys.
Cheers.
See you later.